My communication device is eye-controlled, meaning that I need to look at the button I want to click on. I use a program where it is possible to make buttons with letters, words and sentences, so in some cases, there are some shortcuts, but generally, I spell the words letter by letter. I have written my answers to this interview in advance, so it goes quicker and smoother than if I were to spell it out word by word.
That's incredible, one letter at a time. That sounds like a real lot of work. So I appreciate you taking the time to pre-prepare these answers for today. That's really nice of you. Are people that you don't know, are they patient with you when you speak to them?
It varies. It varies. Some people are very patient, and others leave because they think I'm not answering. And since I can't have eye contact while I am speaking, misunderstandings easily happen. It makes me sad.
Yeah, that's a shame. That is a real shame. I can't imagine. Yeah, sorry to hear that. So I saw on your Instagram also that you go to if I could get my words out. I saw on your Instagram that you go to physiotherapy. Could you tell me more?
When you have CP, it is very important to work out. The fitter the better. I love to work out and do so every day. It improves my motor functions and gives me an opportunity to challenge myself in order to learn new skills. Twice a week I go to physiotherapy, where I get my muscles stretched and my physiotherapist tries to relax my muscles.
Do you have to take any medication?
I get medicine in order to reduce my movements and my pain.
Ah, okay. I also saw on your Instagram that you have, because of the cerebral palsy, you have trouble sleeping. Why is that?
Because of my CP, I have difficulties sleeping. My body is restless, and it wants to keep me awake all night long. I roll back and forth to try to find a good position, and my limbs keep tightening and moving around. Sometimes it feels like I have forgotten how to sleep, but usually I succeed after a while. I wish that I could just lay down and fall asleep immediately.
Yeah, that must be exhausting. I love my sleep, so I can imagine how that must be very difficult. Does living with a disability cause you any mental health problems, such as depression or anxiety, for example?
No, I don't have any mental health problems. I am in a good mood. I love to smile and laugh. I have CP and I cannot change that. I have to accept it and get the most out of my life as possible. I am not saying that it is not difficult to have CP. Of course, it is difficult. I have ups and downs. Sometimes I really hate my CP, but it is important that the feeling of hate and sadness should not be the general feeling in your life. I always try to see the possibilities instead of the restrictions.
So I want to talk to you about some of the prejudices. So what are some of those that you have to face as a result of your cerebral palsy?
Often people who do not know me think I'm less gifted as I have CP. Many people think I cannot be smart and therefore they doubt my abilities. People assume that I cannot take an education. When I tell them that I have graduated from high school with straight A's and plan to start university, they get shocked. Many people also think I cannot hear normally or answer for myself. I am capable of answering for myself. I do not need another person to talk on behalf of me. I will appreciate it if people just have a chat with me, as they would with anyone else. Another prejudice is that some people think that having a disability means that you cannot look good. I have experienced that people have told me that I was beautiful even though I had the disability, as if disability and beauty were two contradictions.
That's terrible. That's so terrible. That's such a senseless remark. That's terrible. So how else do strangers treat you, and what other annoying things do they do?
Some people do not know how they should interact with me, and it causes some strange experiences. I have often tried that people bend down to talk to me, and some even pat me on the head. These are some of the more ordinary reactions. I've also tried people clapping their hands after I said something. I've also experienced people telling me how good a girl I am, since I lifted my arm, making it sound like I am a dog. Furthermore, many people assume that I have a cognitive disability, so they will either talk to me in baby language or simply just talk to my assistants. Once a man mentioned me as the wheelchair. So, I have experienced a lot of strange situations.
That's terrible. I can't believe it's staggering what people will do. I can't believe it. Patting you on the head is some of the more common reactions that people have. It's absolutely mind blowing. It's terrible. It's incredible what some people will do. So how do you want people that don't know you to treat and speak to you then?
As if they were talking to any other person.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about your wheelchair then. So how much independence does your wheelchair give you?
I got my first wheelchair when I was 2.5 years old. It was awesome that I no longer had to sit in a stroller. Having a wheelchair represents freedom and independence. It provides an opportunity for me to live out my life. My wheelchair is like my legs. It enables me to take part in society and go wherever I want, if the place is wheelchair accessible. Unfortunately, many places are not accessible, so I always have to investigate places before going there to see if I can even enter.
Your social circle, do you have a good social circle? Or have you found, I've seen on reading cases of cerebral palsy online, I've read that sometimes that people don't get included or invited out, which leaves them feeling lonely. What's your situation? Do you have a good social circle?
I have a good social circle of friends, and I love spending time with them. It has always been one of my priorities to socialize with people. I both have friends with and without disability. However, it is not a secret that it takes a lot of energy when I meet new people and try to make friends.
So I understand that you're trying to get into university at the moment, but you've been rejected several times because of your disability. How does that leave you feeling?
Yes, I am applying to get into university at the moment. I have started the process of planning my studies and I am in dialogue with the specific department. It's nerve-wracking to contact universities to explain my situation in fear of rejection. When I first applied to high school, I was rejected because they doubted I could succeed. That's why the fear will always be there. I have one of the highest GPAs in Denmark, yet it seems my disability is often the decisive factor. When I first started contacting universities, I received 3 rejections. It is frustrating and I feel like I will always be judged by my disability. It is clear that discrimination still exists, but I have not given up yet and it is not going to stop me.
So what do you want to study at university and what do you want to do as a future job?
I want to study biomedical engineering, which is also called medicine and technology, since I'm very interested in how the human body works, and physics and mathematics are among my favorite subjects. As a biomedical engineer, you are engaged in the development of methods and technological equipment that doctors and patients need. Advanced technology plays a vital role when it comes to diagnosing and treating diseases. Once I finish university, I would like to conduct research and get a job in the medical sector.
So with work, would you be able to work as many hours as an able-bodied person?
No, I would not be able to work as many hours as an able-bodied person. Everything takes longer time for me than it does for a person with no disability, so it would not be realistic for me to work as many hours. I know that many people with disabilities have difficulties with finding a job. I hope that the work market is better equipped once I finish my education.
Yeah, let's hope so, definitely. So I understand that you're a board member of the SUMH, which is the Association of Young People with Disabilities, when it's translated into English. How does the association help people and what's your role as a board member?
I have been a board member for the Association of Youth with Disabilities for 3 years. It is a political organisation that aims to better the conditions for young people with disabilities. We are working towards that having a disability should not be an obstacle in life. The association is trying to break down prejudices against people with disabilities, and we have meetings with politicians to ensure that we are a part of the agenda. My focus in my work as a board member is on bettering the education system.
So what can society do then to help wheelchair users and those with cerebral palsy?
Society should strive towards information and facts, instead of untruths of people with disabilities. We need to break down the prejudices. Society has an influence on how we will be seen, heard, and recognized. In order to improve the conditions for people with disabilities, society should be characterized by respect for each other, patience, and curiosity. We as humans need to accept each other's differences and stop perceiving some is better than others. We should strive for equality and see the person instead of the disability.
Excellent. That's a lovely answer. Completely agree. So thanks for agreeing to chat to me today and for letting us all know your story. I really appreciate it.
It was great to share my story. Thank you for letting me do that.
Not a problem. It was a pleasure.